Hello, this is some reasoning I would like to do about a theme that today is pretty much taboo, that is very distant in our lives, but in our mind, because in fact is very near to us, and everyone has to face with this problem. Is the problem of death. Now, I am an Italian of Christian and Catholic culture, so I have a very strong very strong channel to think about death. That is the religious channel. That is very strong and very useful. I would also think to think about death. But nevertheless, I remember very well the first independent thought I had about death. That is when I for the first time read the Homer's Odyssey. And in the Odyssey, this is different the accent in English. In the Odyssey, I read about the very famous passage in which, in the 11th book, Odysseus goes in the netherworld, in the world of the dead. And in this voyage, he meets a lot of people. He goes there to meet with Tiresia, that is a very a sage and a prophet that probably will tell him about how to go back to Ithaca and how to return home, because the Odyssey is all about Odysseus, that is Ulysses in the Latinized version. The Odyssey is all about Odysseus that wants to get home, to return from Troy to Ithaca, that is his kingdom. Now, in this passage in which he goes in the netherworld, he meets with Achilles. Now, I want to say that the netherworld, the death world, the world of the dead, in the Homer point of view, it's just bad. It is not heaven, it is not hell, it is neither heaven nor hell, it is something else. There is no reward and there is no punishment. There is just nothing. The other world, this world of the dead is just the representation of the state of non-existence, and it is a very obvious and very simple way of representing the death. And I think that is the way in which a very naturalistic psychology will think about that. That is just not being. So people, for for the sake of the narrative, are people in this not world, but they just answer to and sometimes not answer. They are mostly indifferent to Odysseus that comes to this other world. So it is a very squalid, a very insignificant place. Nothing is nothing like heaven or hell. There is no significance. It's just what it is. Death. Very, very death. Nothing else. Now, he wants to meet with Silesia, but along the way he meets with a lot of people. Someone just ignores him and someone talks to him. For example, Achilles. Odysseus comes to Achilles and say hi to his old friend, because Odysseus and Achilles are friends. They fought in the Achaeans in the Achaean ranks in the battle in the war of Troy. And Achilles was the first Greek warrior in this war. He was the strongest, the fittest, the most beautiful, the most rich, even the most potent man on this side of that war, and also of the other side. He was the best possible man, hero in the mind of Homer. But In this passage, we have something very interesting. And now Odysseus talks to Achilles and says, and now I read from this traduction from the Greek in English. And I said, now it is Odysseus that is recalling and telling to Alcino, because this is all a flashback in the story. And this is Odysseus that is talking to another people, the king Alcino, about this passage, about this this episode in which he goes in this netherworld. And Odysseus says, and I said, Achilles, son of Peleus, foremost champion of Achaeans, I came to consult Tiresias and see if he could advise me about my return home to Ithaca, for I have never yet been able to get near the Achaean land, nor to set foot in my own country, but have been in trouble all the time. As for you, Achilles, no one was ever yet so fortunate as you have been, nor ever will be. For you were adored by all of us Argives as long as you were alive, and now that you are here, you are a great prince among the dead. Do not therefore take it so much to heart, even if you are dead. And now Achilles answered. Saying not a word, he answered, in death's favour. I would rather be a paid servant in a poor man's house and be above ground than king of kings among the dead. So, let us read this passage. Achilles says, say not a word in death's favor. Say nothing about the favor of my death. It was a bad thing. I would rather be a paid servant in a poor man's house and be above ground than the king of kings among the dead.